What's up, everybody? Ty Bartow with another edition of Coach's Corner. This next guy, I mean, he doesn't really need much of an introduction. He's the back-to-back defending Division One state champion, head coach of the Fitch Falcons, but he's also one of my personal friends, Mr. Stephen Ward, joining me today. Coach, how we doing?
Hey, what's up, Ty? Sun is shining, life is great. We're getting some great work out on the field, and we're excited to get this going.
I mean, this is some great weather. You can't ask for anything better for softball weather in terms of practices. Talking about practices and talking about the hunger that I know is in a lot of these young ladies' bellies. What is this team looking like practice season two? What are you seeing out there on the field?
And just as a coach, you sit there and you look for different moments of where you see the team coming together, the team gelling, and really that happened yesterday. While we're doing a live session and we're rotating pitchers in and out, and we have our varsity lineup going against these pitchers, and you see the pitchers' confidence grow because they know who they're pitching against, and that's no easy task. Imagine having to do that every single day, going up against Kayleigh, Ray, and Kylie, and Abby, and Morgan, and everybody. It's like, okay, all right, where's your confidence? But you could see, and you could see the team rallying around our young pitchers. You could see the confidence and the compliments and everything going on. And I just sat back for a minute and I was like, wow, we're going to be something special this year.
Yeah, let's talk about this team. Let's do a sort of meet the team segment too, and those players that are going to highlight this Falcon squad this year.
Okay, well, we'll kind of start at the catcher spot, and then we'll rotate all the way around the positions, and talk about each player there. At catcher, Kylie Folkline, what amazing leadership she's shown this year. Just really just a mature athlete, knows that she has a big future ahead of her, and she's treating every moment seriously with us, and understanding that being the catcher, she's the direct contact with our younger pitching staff, and she's doing a heck of a job. And yesterday, she's just hitting them over the fence, and then she hit one, and I guess I'll skip over a spot and go to Kayleigh Ray, because I thought the shot off the bat was going, and it's going up against the fence, and there's one person in the state of Ohio that I think could make the catch in the outfield, and it's Kayleigh Ray. Just kind of gloves it out of nowhere, steals a double, triple. And you look at Kayleigh just batting 740 as a freshman, and all American, like nationwide all American player in high school. And just again, the burning competition that you talk about, that begins and ends with her. She doesn't have to warm up. That girl stays ready all the time. We could pull her right from lunch and put her in a game, and she'd just ball out. That's just the type of player that she is. Morgan Roby at third base, when I'm looking back at stats, I kind of look at it and I'm like, wow, where did we, like maybe make a mistake or something? She's had one strikeout in 2 years, and that was a called third strike that I think she'll give you a little frowny face on in terms of what the call was. But, locking down third again, you look at her, I mean, in the single digits, you count on one hand the number of errors that she's made in 2 years at third base. None last year. I mean, so you're probably down to two or three fingers now. So just, so happy to have her back. Her personality. Oh my God, she just lights this team up. And, they're already planning out different days for what we're going to do in the dugout and stuff. And I just sit back and shake my head and then realize I'm getting old, because half the stuff they say they're going to do, I just don't understand. But I'm like, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Let's not get in trouble with the umpires this early. Coming into shortstop is Alyssa Rogers right now, and she's a new one to us, but she's not new to the school or competition. She's played heavy travel ball, and she's also been a two-time regional qualifier in, I believe, both a short sprint and in the relay races. So having her come along has just been a blessing. I mean, obviously, speed, power. We're really excited to see what she can do out there. Going over to second base, Sammy Severin. Hey, if you're coming down to scrimmage, I saw, Coach Dugan here. If you're coming down to our scrimmage Thursday, Sammy Severin is running a canned food drive for the YWCA. So bring that down if you can and donate. It'd be amazing. But you talk about a girl that just her career is littered with big hits. Walsh Jesuit game 2 years in a row. She's out there hitting the ball, hitting RBIs to start the game off or start the runs off for us. So you just talk about a player that's just locked in all the time. Walking down first base, Abby Toe, just my goodness, she gets stronger and stronger every year. When we do front toss, she's only allowed about 5 pitches because we will lose all the softballs. And I'm not talking about that they'll just go over our fence. They go over the other fence and into the road, and it just becomes a danger for everybody. So we want to keep Austintown safe. So I mean, for her, and then verbaling to Detroit Mercy, what a great school for her to go to. We're very excited to see her future there. Uh, Backing her up there in right field, Rachel Spalding. What an amazing basketball season her and Sam had. I mean, just flat out, that just shows the character and the athletes of both of them, especially Rachel. I saw a really strong leadership side that, as you get older and as you get older than your senior year, it's really coming out. And, we're excited to have her. And I don't think anybody can play right field better than her, just with the way our sunlight is, everything. She is just dead on all the time. I mentioned Kayleana Ray, and, wow, it's, again, her speed. Our right and left fielder can go to the lines a lot more because they know they have K Ray in center field, and she's going to get to the left and right pretty quickly. So in left field, we got some battles going on. We got Veda Bird, who was our courtesy runner last year. Speedy, quick, intelligent, just does everything 100%. And then we have a freshman coming in, Seneca Coates, heavy travel ball player, lefty, could slap, could hit, got some power to her, got a cannon of an arm, and it's great to see him battling it out. And it's great to see the competitiveness and, most importantly, the sportsmanship, how they treat each other. It's amazing to see them. Speaking of left field, I got to give a special shout out to my girl, Miana Jorge. She was a sophomore last year in left field for us, part of the 2024 title run, and unfortunately she had season-ending shoulder surgery, and she'll be out for the year. But she's going to be in there in the dugout with us. We got plenty of jobs for her to do, and she absolutely is just the lifeblood of the team. She, having her there, it just builds everybody up, and we kind of call her the team mom too, just to keeping track of everybody. So Miana, can't wait till you're back, kid. I'm going to see you soon.
And I know she'll maximize that opportunity too.
Oh, just amazing kid, amazing family. So, we're, super sad to see her lose her junior year, but we know she's going to come back stronger. Pitchers this year, we have 5 of them that we see, rotating, and all of them are going to get the opportunities in the scrimmage coming up here. We have 4 of them lined up, and we have our juniors, Miley Somerville and Juliana Farmer, both of them through a lot of JV. And, in our live sessions right now, you see them just growing in that confidence and seeing them start to take lead and command and position. We're excited for them. Both could put the bat on the ball, especially Juliana. Well, actually, they both went yard last year a couple times in JV games. So excited for them to be up. Our freshman, Courtney Fedoric, she, plays travel, was a Honey Badger, and still comes in, starts lighting it up, has great spin on the ball, has some zip to it, really strong. Tori Greathouse, our lefty, this is a girl that's just dedicated to her sport time and time again. She is just softball crazy. I'd be surprised right now if she's even watching this, because she's watching a softball game. But I'm sure she'd probably split screen it, because anything softball she's just into. Then lastly, our freshman, Cece Buzico, just a delight to have, learning, to get around some of our bigger batters and really finishing our pitches. We're excited for her. She could also get into the outfield. She could also pinch run for us. So, dual threat there. We're excited to have her. Some freshmen in contention. Again, I think we're going to have the largest varsity roster that I think we've ever had. And we carry some pretty big ones. But, everybody contributes. Everybody adds to the dugout atmosphere. And that crazy dugout atmosphere. So all these kids are just going to be, they're going to be 100 in the dugout, no doubt. We have 2 freshmen, Zara Burt, which is Veda's younger sister, and man, she's another spark plug coming in. She's like the utility knife. We could put her anywhere, and she's just going to perform at a high level. Great contact hitter. And then we have Bella Baumgart, who had an awesome freshman year in basketball, coming off the bench for Coach Ratchek, and really giving some height and some strength under there in the post. And same thing that she's doing here. She's a catcher. She's a first baseman. She's a third baseman. And I tell you what, don't miss a pitch on her, because she's going to send that thing yard. So we're really excited about her. A junior that's coming up with us this year is Cameron Scandy, another quick bat, another kid that could steal some bases for us. She's battling in that shortstop spot, and, gives it all that she got. So we're excited to have her.
When we talk about this team, and you kind of hinted at it, and I mean, with the pitchers that you guys have this year, you lost 2 key contributors in Ayla Ray and Sydney Watts last year, and they're both tearing it up in college respectively right now. When you talk about, though, replacing both of these players too, how beneficial is it for you, for these pitchers, what kind of line do you have to walk as well too, with their confidence being having to face Murder's Row lineup every time in practice too? But what kind of benefit does that have that they're seeing such elite competition batting wise in practices, in team scrimmages before they even step out on the field in a live varsity game?
First thing, looking at Ayla's career down at YSU and looking at Sydney's career down at Georgia Tech so far, they are impact players. We love seeing them. This Friday, we're going to go see Ayla play Cleveland State, and then next Friday, we're going to go see Sid play Georgia Tech. So we're so excited for our Falcon family and excited to get to see them and cheer them on. And yeah, it is a fine line with it. I tell you what, Coach Becky, we talk time and time again that she should be coaching in college somewhere. Is she draws that fine line, and I have all these plans every week that we draw up, and I'm like, well, I want to do this, and then she's like, well, let's pump the brakes here on this day, maybe do this a little bit differently. I was wanting to focus on this, and so we really work out a practice schedule. All our coaches have input into that, but again, it's reassuring the girls because again, they are getting out. And when they're getting out, normally our players don't take that too kindly in terms of batting. They tend to really be hard on themselves, but they know the process of which these pitchers are going through, and they know how difficult our lineup is. So, when they're making those outs, when they're getting the ground outs or they're getting us to pop out or stuff like that, our girls that are hitting those are really congratulating, like stopping, saying, "Hey, Courtney, Miley, Juliana, Tori, Cece, that was a great pitch. That pitch was awesome." Or if they catch somebody looking, they're like, "Wow, that good." And so the team atmosphere is great right now. It's understanding that we're all together in this. We're all going to build each other up. The cliche that there is no I in team, that's really coming to life again. We like to see it every year because every year it's a new team. Every year you're losing people. We've lost some very strong leadership, and this year it was interesting to see who's going to step up, and really everybody stepping up into shared leadership, into their roles, into doing their things. And I'm so excited for all of them. It really shows their maturity, and then the pitchers' maturity, even though they're younger in terms of innings, they're really developing at a nice rate right now, and I'm very excited for them.
I kind of hinted at the hunger that's in these young ladies' belly earlier in the interview. But what have you seen from a coaching perspective from this team too? I know there's inevitably going to be a lot of people talking too, saying, "Okay, number five's out of the circle too. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to get Fitch this year." How are the girls taking it too? And we look at the playoff run last year. This is still a team that put up runs on college level pitchers last year. So talk to me about just the position players and the girls on this team, and are they kind of playing with that chip on their shoulder mentality?
Uh, you know, they have a certain maturity about them. They know the game, they know the sport, they know what's out there, and they know what we have to do to be successful. So for them, is there a chip on their shoulder? Do you hear that? Maybe we're not going to be this and that. I'm sure they hear it, but again, we focus on us, and we don't talk about, hey, we got to do X, Y, and Z. We're really focused on maximizing our potential. And I know that might be a little bit of coach speak in terms of talking, but really, if we do what we should do and we focus on that, and we don't focus on anything else other than, concentrating on being the best player we could be in the team system, it's all going to take care of itself. I have no doubt in my mind. And are we hungry? Yeah, we're hungry to go after a third title, and we're hungry to go after the AAC. Which again, you know what? Shout out to all the coaches, Mike, Fred, Nicole, Rick. All what an amazing job they all do, because I think we are the top-notch conference in all of Ohio, all divisions. So let's go, guys and girls. It's going to be a fun season.
You talk about that meat grinder of a conference that you guys are going to have on schedule, but always you guys schedule a really fun non-conference schedule filled with good competition. What are some of those highlight matchups that you're excited for in the non-conference this year? And just talk to me about your kind of conference preview and the way it's looking out right now from your perspective.
So out of conference, we're going to start out with Menor right there on Saturday, the 22nd. Coach Joe is just an amazing coach. We really developed a strong friendship with her. And, she texted me the day after the season started. So what was that, February 21st, I think. And she's like, hey, we were up at midnight getting ready for you. What were you guys doing? They were doing a weight session and then did a practice at, midnight to whatever. And so they're always well coached. They're always going to bring a great team down, and they are in Division One. So it'll be a great early preview to see, what's out there and what's going to happen. And then somebody we haven't scheduled, a good old Federal League foe of Uniontown Lake coming in. Coach Bobby and I saw them when they played Walsh Jesuit last year in the playoffs. We did a little scouting, and we saw just, man, they're just a tough team that, we wanted to get them on the schedule. We thought they were super well coached, and we want to see what we could do. Coach Dugan, Ursuline, they're going to be rocking and rolling this year. So we're excited not only to scrimmage them, but we have them on the schedule right now as well. Riverside, always tough, always tough. Gancha's coming back in the circle, and she really held us down last year. I think that score was 2-1, 3-1, something right around there. And, we're really excited to see them. Aurora, Lakeview, Lakeview's coach just does such an amazing job out there. So we're really excited to see them. Conference, I mean, Mike Kernan, congratulations again. Hall of Fame coach now for our coaching association, well deserved. They're going to be very strong at the bats, so you're not going to be able to take a batter off. And I know that they're going to be kind of like us, have a couple pitchers rotating through. So we're excited to see them. Boardman probably has the most experienced pitching staff right now with Strines and Safara coming back. Both are very effective pitchers, very great ball players. So they're going to be a tough team. And I tell you what, the young team on the block that, not really like young, because those kids have been playing high level travel ball, is Howland's team. Coach Watt has them out there. They're going to be ready to rock and roll. So don't sleep on Howland. I'm really expecting them to make a big run. And out of Warren Harding, Coach Riles there along with Czar. I mean, Czar is just a phenomenal player that could be a transformative player for your program to kind of say, hey, this is high level. Let's go. We're doing this. And so I'm really excited to see them as well. So again, top to bottom, you take a snooze, man. A girl's going to put that about 220 in left field. So, you can't take a break anywhere in this conference.
I want to also give you the chance to shout out the coaching staff. I know it's often unchanged and it's usually the same coming in year in and year out too, but I always like giving you an opportunity to give some love to that highly touted Falcon coaching staff.
Well, I love them to death. We've been together for, over a decade. And, Coach Bobby, he's definitely the player's favorite there. And just something, he just clicks with the players. They click with him. It drives me crazy, and he knows it. So I think they do it even more. But he just has the right words at the right time for them batting. And I love it. Coach Spalding mentioned her earlier, just her calm demeanor, her approach, her very methodical way that she's looking at things, to where I could call her right now and say, hey, on April 29th, what are we doing with the pitchers? And she would flip through her book and say, well, I have this mapped out that we're doing this. That's how methodical she is and how approached she is in it. Coach Fiddler got the team mom there, just always cheering each other on. Like, she is the go-to person to build people up. Like, without her, it's just not the same in the dugout. So she's away right now at state competition for DECA, which is our business group. And she took some of our players with her. I'm like, hold on, it's season. What are we doing? She's like, Coach, it's state. I'm like, hey, let's go. Let's get after it. So Morgan and a few others are down there, and wishing them the best of luck. Coach Fiddler just does an amazing job both teaching and coaching. Coach Jerry Bruff, just, coming up from JV, he's always at our varsity games, always cheering on, always offers words of wisdom, usually does infield for me if he's available. So, like, his relationship with the girls from JV on up, it's just amazing. And Coach Raymer, another player favorite, just has the right words at the right time to just break the atmosphere and calm everybody down and get us all back on the same page. And so when you talk about the coaching staff, a day doesn't go by where we're not talking to each other in the off season. So we're talking about, honestly, probably 365 days that we're talking, and not just about softball. We're friends outside the field, but inevitably comes down to softball, or we'll talk college softball and see, what's going on in that landscape, or, hey, are we going to go down and see the youth softball tonight and things like that. So I'm very blessed to have the people around me that I have, and I never take them for granted. I'm always thankful for them.
Final question for you, Coach. I want to give you the chance to just kind of describe what you see the team's identity being this year. I mean, you shouted out your first game against Mentor, this 22nd too, but also shout out the Falcon community too. They were lining the fences last year. Let them know why that you guys are going to be the show in town again this year.
We're going to be explosive again, and that's where we're going to, make our bread and butter. We're going to be explosive offensively. You're going to get to see some of our defense highlighted that, in the past 8 years maybe hasn't had the chance, quite honest, to be as highlighted as we could be. And I think that we're going to be a very solid defense, a lot of fun to watch. Just going live again, seeing, Kayleana Robson, people seeing our outfielders really moving to it, cutting it off, getting to the right spots. The way our infield can move and cover ground, we're going to be an exciting team. And again, I tell you what, give these pitchers just a little bit of time to grow in their confidence. They're going to be A1. So I'm really excited. We're going to do our best we can for our community. We love our community. We love our school system. They do so much for us. They always support Falcon softball. Again, I'm blessed to be in a school system that truly loves Fitch softball, loves all the student athletes. And again, what a blessed time we're living in. We have you guys covering us. It's amazing. And I think I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second, Ty.
Huh?
If you had to name just one moment in Fitch softball that you've been covering, what's one that comes to mind?
Oh man, one
I know,
moment is
right? Right?
that one's tough because there's been so many. I don't know. I feel like the last 2 years too. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is Ayla Ray hitting a home run in state championships back-to-back years too, and just I don't know the final out of the first state championship last year and getting that major state championship, team state championship in the first time in years was big. I think from a Falcon alum too to be able to
Uh,
witness and be behind the call of that.
well, I asked you that, Ty, because we love and appreciate you so much. You know how much the girls care about you. They love seeing you down there. Like if you're even 5 minutes late, they're looking around like, hey, are you gonna text Ty? Where's Ty at? I'm like, he's coming, he's coming. Don't worry about it. You and Anthony, you know, YSN, you guys just do such an amazing job for all the athletes in the area, always shouting you guys out. It's amazing just how you put every sport on the map. DJ, just amazing vision. I'm expecting this to keep growing. So, guys, all the love to you. And that's why I put you on the spot because it's awesome having a Falcon alumni up there doing what you do and calling out these girls and showing them the recognition and love that we all know they deserve and you give it to them. So thank you.
Well, man, if we had another 10 minutes, I could go through your whole lineup and tell you about two or three moments that I have for each one of those girls, too. And they definitely are the highlight of the sports season for myself. I'm no doubt excited to get back out there and see you guys on the diamond. I'll be out there March 22nd, and we'll be seeing each other real soon.
Thanks a lot, Ty. I appreciate it.